Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of PSTV's one-of-a-kind nerd culture experience, Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm your host, James Andre. We've all been away on a holiday break, but fear not, we've got all the geeky highlights from winter break ready and rolling for you. So stay tuned to PSTV. Once again, I'm James Andre. With nerdy news from around the world, let's jump right into Nerd Flash. An 8th Harry Potter story, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, was announced early February, shocking fans everywhere. This latest tale comes in the form of a script to be published in book form and ebook. For those who can't make the play's opening debut in London, the script will be published on Harry Potter's 36th birthday, July 31st of this year. Speaking of Harry Potter, the trailer for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was released over winter break. Let's see what Drew has to say about that in Sick Flicks.
Sick Flicks.
Thank you for joining us tonight, James. Now, we had a lot happen over our winter break, especially when it came to movies. Now, you had Star Wars, which is the record holder in the box office right now, and there's been a lot of news about the Harry Potter prequel movie and the 8th story. However, before we get to that, I'd like to talk about Deadpool, the resident Marvel bad boy. Deadpool came to theaters over Valentine's Day weekend and didn't leave anyone disappointed, except for the mothers who thought this was just another superhero movie. They were in for a big shock as The Merc with a Mouth featured a much-needed R rating, and it became the highest-grossing opening weekend of an R-rated movie with $132.2 million from Friday to Sunday. It was so highly anticipated that the script for the sequel was already greenlit before the movie was released. Personally, I enjoyed it, probably way more than I should have. It had everything I wanted from a Deadpool movie, while remaining spoiler-free. So, think about that, spoiler-free. No, nothing for that. Yep. But what'd you think?
I love Deadpool so much. It was so funny, but it was also it just got you into the story. And
it was gory.
So good. Yes.
It was very gory.
Yes, do not bring your kids to see this.
It needed an R rating,
Definitely.
Just for that alone. And then the swearing, of course. His
course.
Obscenity and the unicorn with the Crocs and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a story for another day. Now I'd like to bring it to the Harry Potter sequel, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. In case you haven't seen it yet or need a bit of a refresher, here's the trailer.
Lumos Maxima. Lumos Maxima.
Yesterday, a wizard entered New York with a case. A case full of magical creatures. And unfortunately, some have escaped. It was open?
Just a smidge.
Mr. Scamander!
So, that.
I am excited to see it, but I wish we had another Harry Potter story. Luckily, we are getting that in the form of Cursed Child, but it's great to see the Harry Potter universe continue to be extended on through where Fantastic Beasts, the textbook from from all the books, And I'm excited for it, but not as much as I wish it was a Harry Potter
I'm
story.
just so excited to see all of the different creatures in the movie, how they're created. I'm hoping the CG looks really good, like they did for the original Harry Potter movies. The dragons in the Goblet of Fire looked really good, so I'm hoping they bring that same kind of fire with this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all the different monsters and where they come from and more about them that they showed in the book, but not really the movies.
Yeah, and Eddie Redmayne, he looks like he's going to be really good in this movie. Just the story itself and how it's kind of turning there. He looks like he's going to be a really funny character in that kind of sense as well.
Yeah,
too.
he's a really good actor, so.
Now we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, you'll get an in-depth look at Malone Comic-Con with Brandon and Bianca. We'll be right back.
Hang tight. Talk Nerdy will be right back.
Hey! I'm Rick Common!
Line.
Hey! I'm Rick Common!
Then I'm Tim Everhart.
You probably recognize us from the third and final season of The Station.
Now I know what you're thinking. TV's dead now that the station's off the air, right?
Not so fast. PSTV has programming for everyone. PSTV. Watch it.
Here at PSTV, we've been watching a lot of sports, and it's starting to show around the office.
And next on Cardinals Sports, next on Cardinals.
All right, man, you're too tired. We're going to take you out
Boss,
this one.
I got one more story like this. Come on. Take it from here, man.
When you don't watch PSTV, you get bored. When you get bored, you get ideas. When you get ideas, you start messing around with the roller chair. When you start messing around with the roller chair, you get your friends to join in. When you get your friends to join in, you do stupid things. And when you do stupid things, you lick linoleum. Don't lick linoleum. Watch PSTV.
All systems are a go. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Brandon Menard.
And I'm Bianca Borg.
And we're here at the first ever Malone Comic-Con in Malone, New York. So why did Malone decide to have a Comic-Con?
So I was approached by one of the directors of the Chamber of Commerce. His name is Casey. He's our Captain America that's been floating around here. He wanted to have an event where we got a superhero to come to town. And he came to me because he thought I would know the most about that. And we decided to kind of recraft that idea into a little one-day convention. And it came together pretty quickly because we knew the Winter Carnival was having a superhero-themed weekday bash all the way across the board. So that's what inspired us to try to get it in the middle of the Winter Carnival, be a part of that experience, and move forward with that.
It's nice too, up here in Malone we don't really have a lot of these resources like comic book vendors and stuff, so we were able to bring them here to Malone so that these kids can walk around and actually look through things.
So we're here with Samuel Chase. He's the owner of Chase Con in Saratoga Springs. So at Chase Con, what are you guys going to be offering the fans that come to see all your guest stars?
Well, we got the 50th year of the Batmobile anniversary going on, so that's going to be something really great. We're going to have comics, toys, obviously celebrities that we already talked about.
So we're here with Jay. He is the owner of Vermont Comic Con. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now, what are your thoughts on Malone Comic Con?
You know, I love seeing cons sprout up everywhere, especially ones that are community-based. And this is a great opportunity for the people in this area that experience Comic Cons before they branch off to other places. But for first year, it's really great. It's exciting.
Face painting, and I feel so cool right now.
Brings you right back to your childhood days.
It really does. I met my high school sweetheart, by the way, Jack Sparrow. Okay, well, that's all. I'm Bianca Borg.
I'm Brandon Menard. Have a good night.
Thanks, Brandon and Bianca. Ubisoft recently made an announcement on their official blog site, Ubiblog, stating that they would not be releasing an Assassin's Creed game this year. Quote, "Since the release of Unity, we've learned a lot from your feedback," end quote. If that's not enough to sustain your Templar fighting appetite, the Assassin's Creed movie is expected to hit theaters December 21st, 2016. We've got more gaming news coming your way in Game On.
Game on.
Hey, I'm Tyler McDonald.
And I'm Ryan Adams, and joining us tonight on Game On is Drew Malone. We'll be discussing Far Cry Primal, Fallout 4, and Star Wars Battlefront DLC. So let's spawn in and start.
Big news directly from Bethesda regarding the future of Fallout 4. They've stated that they'll be expanding their plans for future DLC. As of now, there are 3 announced add-ons. Set to release in March, Automatron will allow players to build and personalize their very own robot companions. In April, Bethesda will release Wasteland Workshop, allowing you to capture raiders and beasts to pit them against each other in your own personal battle arena. The first major story add-on will come out sometime in May. Far Harbor will allow players to travel off the coast of irradiated Maine to an island shrouded in mystery. Bethesda says that this will be the largest DLC landmass they've ever created.
So, Wasteland Workshop, that's what it's called? It's a little weird and creepy. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun, but you're taking things and then making them fight for your entertainment. That's kind of crazy.
It really fits the theme of an apocalyptic wasteland.
Oh, sure, I imagine that's what you would do, but it's still like crazy that they're actually going to put that in the game. It's like, I mean, but push the boundaries, am I right?
I think it'd be fun.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun, but I don't know, it's just kind of crazy, so I'm looking forward to that, that's for sure.
Next, Far Cry Primal is the 5th game in the Far Cry franchise and their most inventive one to date. Set in 10,000 BC in an ancient land called Oros, players are put in the place of a hunter named Takar. Your mission is to regather the members of the Wenja tribe and reclaim the land for your people. It's a dangerous mission, however, constantly being surrounded by beasts like mammoths, lions, saber-toothed tigers, and bears, oh my. The game released February 23rd for PS4 and Xbox One, and on March 1st for PC. So
you had a good time in this, I assume?
I've already lit a bear on fire within my first hour of playing, and it was intense.
That's when you know it's a good game.
I didn't think the game would do that, and then the bear consequently caught the forest on fire.
So you caused a forest fire as well.
With Smokey the Bear.
That's unbelievable. Already I want to play this game. I wanted to play this game before because I think it'd be cool to play an ancient tribe-style game, and now I want to play it just to set a forest on fire. I want to see the world burn. What can I say?
It's kind of terrible. I've done worse things, though.
What can I say? Just, it seems like a good time. Are you enjoying it so far, though, story-wise?
I am. It's very, very good.
Good. I might, like I said, I might get that, so we'll see. Hopefully I have the budget for that. Finally, guys, we have some free content coming up as well as DLC for Star Wars Battlefront. So here's some examples of what's coming up. Back in January, actually, they did Hoth-themed outfits for Luke and Han. So when you play on Hoth, they actually appear as they do from the movies, as well as private matches and daily challenges. In February, they're coming out with a new survival mission on Hoth, as well as a new multiplayer map for Hoth that will support Walker Assault, Supremacy, and Turning Point. And then in March, the final free content that they've announced is a multiplayer map for Endor that will support Walker Assault, Supremacy, and Turning Point. The first DLC is also coming out in March, and it's titled Outer Rim, and it features maps inside the factories of Sullust, as well as Jabba the Hutt's palace. And then the other DLC are Bespin, Death Star, and the final one is untitled as of right now. So it should be a good time. I'm looking forward. I haven't the February free content just dropped, and I haven't had a chance to play it, but I can't wait. I'm kind of interested in where else you could play on Hoth, since it's pretty desolate. So
yeah.
You've played the game a bit.
Yeah, variety is definitely a problem that I found with the game. There's not too many maps going on, so I'm very excited. I'm excited for Jabba the Hutt's palace. I'm hoping maybe they have the Rancor in there somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I remember they did that in the second game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all we're allowed to geek out for. James has some more news for you after this break. Stay tuned.
Don't touch that remote. Talk Nerdy will be right back.
There's no battery in the camera.
We'll fix it in post, man.
I think the shutter was closed.
Man, don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. Rob, how was that?
The CER didn't white balance it.
We'll fix it in post. How's the final product, Rob?
We didn't record any of it.
Here at PSTV, we're more than just a class.
We are far more than a student-run station.
We're some of the sharpest young minds in the industry.
We are producers,
directors, and editors.
We are creative.
And someday, when we leave for the real world,
We will bring our talents and skills with us.
We are much more than a college station. We are the future of television.
We are PSTV.
Whoa.
Welcome back. I've got even more video game news for you in a Nerd Flash update. Mega Man Legacy has been released on Nintendo's 3DS, the same version released on consoles and PC last year, which includes all 6 of the Mega Man games. This new portable 3DS version is great for the on-the-go gamers, and also comes with an added bonus. The game is compatible with the Mega Man Amiibo and is releasing with additional bonus content. Rashid has a lot to say about Nintendo and their huge game releases thus far, so let's throw it over to him in Critical Hits.
Critical Hits. Get pitted, bruh.
My name is Rashid Trombley, and I have a lot of feelings. So this is the part of the show where I get to throw them at you full force, going through the questionable and controversial parts of nerd culture. Welcome to Critical Hits. My first fish in a barrel is Nintendo. Nintendo's been making video games for over 30 years now, and in that time, they've made some of the most popular and cherished video games ever. So the other day, they released a new title in the popular Fire Emblem series, Fire Emblem Fates. It only came out a few days ago, so imagine my disappointment when I go to the store to buy it and it's already sold out. What is this, Nintendo? Part of me thinks you just don't want me to buy your stuff. Look, I'm sure someone can make the argument that they're trying to be conservative and not flood stores with copies of games people won't be buying. Except that last year, I went to go buy the new Mario Party and ended up with the last copy because the store only got 4 copies in. Of Mario Party! Everyone wants Mario Party! Nintendo knows that! They know that! Not to mention, back in 2014, they started making Amiibos, which are small statues of Nintendo characters that you can buy. They interact with the game, specifically Super Smash Bros. Now, Nintendo can merchandise anything to the point that they could literally put a picture of Mario on bottles filled with broken glass, and people would line up to buy them. So naturally, when they started making Amiibos, they produced a dozen, destroyed 8 of them, and threw the rest into a field somewhere. And I'm sure a lot of us can remember how hard it was to find a Wii back in 2006. Now, the reactionary response is to think that Nintendo is bad at judging supply and demand, or they have some kind of disconnect with their fan base. But that brings me to the worst part. It works for them. It really works. I waited outside of a Target for 8 hours last summer to buy a Jigglypuff amiibo. Did I want it? Who cares? The mall only got 4 of them in. Of course I was gonna buy one. This system they have where they make great products and produce little of them to drive up demand is genius. And there's plenty of proof that it's working, myself included. But it still makes your stuff hard to buy, Nintendo, so shame on you. I'd say shame on the fans too for buying into it, but I sold my shame to fill up my shelf at home with Amiibos. Look, I understand it's 2016, and there's a bigger push than ever before to buy games digitally, and all of their games, the new Fire Emblem included, are available to purchase as a download. But I can't download statues, Nintendo! I've tried! It doesn't work! If you're gonna make something impossible to find in physical form, don't make it something that can't be downloaded! Consoles, merchandise, hats, I don't know. I don't care what you think works of how conservative a company you might be. Nothing dissuades someone from a purchase like the item not being available. You can't buy what's not there. In conclusion, all I want to do is give you my money, Uncle Nintendo. Let me buy your crap. This has been Critical Hits. If you'll excuse me, I have some Nintendo brand blood pressure medication to take. Talk Nerd to Me will be right back after this short break.
Keep watching. Talk Nerdy will be right back.
Welcome to the new PSTV. At SUNY Plattsburgh, we have a proud past and a strong future. But here at PSTV, the future is now. With 8 original programs covering news, sports, and pop culture, we have something for everyone. So do you think you have what it takes to roll with us? Come find out.
What is going on in here, dude? Dude, you're not yourself and you're not watching PSTV. Better? Better.
at here? It's a spaceship. From where? From space? All right, people, let's hit these guys with some PSTV. Did not work.
Probably because it's a TV station and not a laser.
Whoa. Welcome back to Talk Nerdy.
Welcome back. I've got one more Nerd Flash update for you this evening. IBM Japan has recently announced a Sword Art Online virtual reality game, Sword Art Online: The Beginning, which has entered the development phase. Based on the series of light novels and anime of the same name, this virtual reality MMORPG will utilize IBM's powerful supercomputing and advanced cloud technology to immerse the player in a fantasy world, similar to that of the game shown in the series. Our resident anime expert, Bianca Borges, is here to give us a little background on the Sword Art Online series. So Bianca, what is this anime about?
I'm glad you asked, James. Sword Art Online is one of my favorite animes. Originally, it was a visual novel that was adapted into an anime in 2012. The story takes place further into the future where VR technology is at the forefront of the industry. This virtual reality MMO launches called Sword Art Online. When players log in on launch day, they find themselves unable to exit the game and return to reality. Because of the way the VR tech is linked to their brains, if they die in the game, they die in real life. The only way to escape is for at least one player to clear out all 100 dungeons and defeat the final boss. Makes you wonder why anyone would want to make this game an actuality.
Our panelists have more information on virtual and augmented reality. Ryan, now it's your turn with That's Debatable.
That's debatable.
Thanks for the sweet send-off, James, but this is That's Debatable, where things are going to get a little bit salty. Joining me tonight are Rashid Trombley and Drew Malone. We're going to be discussing one of the biggest technological innovations of the past few years, virtual and augmented reality. So from what I understand, you guys have each picked one of the technologies, so why don't you describe yours, and then you describe yours, just exactly what it is, because they're very different things, virtual and augmented. So,
Sure.
Rashid?
Virtual reality is basically the almost cliched, I guess, science fiction thing at this point, where you grab a headset, put it on your head, and then you're just, oh, you're in a different world. And it's just that. It is a headset. There's the Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive. I know Valve has one coming out that I'm always mistaking the name for, so I'm not even going to try. But that's VR in a nutshell.
Okay, so augmented?
Augmented, on the other hand, is more using your own environment to create a sense of being in a virtual world. So, for example, you'll still have the headset, like the Oculus or anything like that, but it's not the same technical thing. Microsoft's working on a HoloLens that you use to look around, and it basically uses wherever you are. You'll see everything the same, but for example, you could have aliens coming out of the wall or something like that, and it just basically uses your environment to create a game.
Alrighty, so that's what they are. So what, in your opinion, are the pros of virtual reality over augmented?
Well, I would say the big pro is that it actually works. Augmented reality is still kind of an untested thing. It's pushing still like $3,000 if it were in a consumer sense, whereas the Oculus Rift is still expensive at $700, but it's not totally unreasonable for what the technology is. And not to mention that if they really wanted to, they could just use VR for both, because there's nothing stopping them from maybe taking like a lens cover and just putting it on top of an AR headset and making it a VR headset. I'm sure maybe the Oculus Rift 2 or something could probably just do both.
Probably.
What are the pros of augmented over virtual, though?
One of the pros I would say is mainly that you will have a closer sense of your own environment. I mean, you are in your own house or wherever you're playing, and you'll feel a lot more attached to what you're doing because of where you are. So you could be in your kitchen and having this big fight, and then you could have your friends come over, and they just see you winging your arms around in your kitchen. What are you doing? I don't know, having a good time.
I wouldn't want my kitchen to. Why go in my kitchen when I can just go to Skyrim, right? I don't want to go into my kitchen and have an epic battle with a dragon. I want to go to Skyrim and have an epic battle with the dragon. If I was going to just stay in my kitchen and have an epic battle, I can get into an argument with my mom or something. That's not. That doesn't seem exciting to me.
One of the coolest things that I saw for augmented reality was the Minecraft show that they did, and they actually they walked up to a table and said, create world, and it started materializing on the table, and they just started building whatever they wanted. They were zooming in and moving the level however they wanted. And the guy's friend that was in there was still walking around the level and playing as he was doing it. He was scrolling and following her. And I think that's something really cool to look into is, having the game actually in front of you and controlling things that way.
Right, but the friend that was playing was using a VR headset, if I remember correctly, wasn't he?
No,
a
tablet.
No, was he just...
She was using a tablet. And playing the game, playing Minecraft on a tablet, and actually playing inside the game that he was using with the headset.
Once again, there's nothing stopping them from just doing both with a VR headset. Augmented reality, I feel, has to stay augmented reality, whereas VR can just do both.
He's got a point.
VR can put Pikachu in your kitchen, or it can leave Pikachu in...
But they don't. VR creates an entirely new world.
Right, but that's because it's the first version of it.
Who's to say AR can't?
If you would look
because augmented reality is changing the world around you, whereas virtual reality is taking you to a different place, but putting you in there.
You could still
so
be
that
in
you
your
interact
living room.
with it. I mean, yeah, you could like Rashida said, with augmented, you either have a battle in here, or you can go into Skyrim and have a battle. Both, but you're both interacting with them directly with your actual body.
And you say it can't do it right now. The PS2 couldn't go onto the internet. PS3 could. They just need to iterate it. They need to give it a few years. The price will go down. They can, $700 could get you. The
price won't go down.
$700 could get you an Oculus 2 in 5 years, and an Oculus 1 will be $150. So you can try it out and then move on from there.
I gotta say, one of the biggest things to keep in mind with this is the processing power it'll take, especially for VR or AR, just the computers, because computers are now gonna have to get beefier to handle them, which will bring those like pro rigs down a lot more, which is pretty good, which I think is pretty cool, because it's forcing these people to try and condense all their technology, make it work better, and at a lower price so that people actually go out and buy this technology. So I'd say overall, whatever wins in this definitely has a great impact on the technology side of things.
All I'm saying is VR Facebook means my grandma is in Alderaan, and AR Facebook means my grandma's in my living room, and I know which one I would pick.
Yeah. Well, you can only have so much saltiness in one night, so we're going to throw back to you, James. Take us away, man.
Thanks, Ryan. It's time to bid goodbye to everyone at home. If you can't get enough of us and even want to hear us rant about topics we didn't get to cover in the show, you can catch Talk Nerdy on WQKE-LP 93.9 FM Plattsburgh, Monday nights at 6, and again Thursday afternoons at 4 p.m. I'm James Andre, and from everyone here at Talk Nerdy, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more quality college programming right here on PSTV.